Hi guys, it's been a little bit calmer this week. The weather temperature wise just dropped enough and it's just made like quite a big difference and just means you can stay out a lot longer and get some of those maintenance jobs that got behind on a bit done. So lots of strimming and weeding and stuff like that really going on this week, and trying to also get the wind support in for the plants. Now some of it I've missed the boat on and it's just too big, so this season it's just going to have to be what it is. I'll go do some work. So it's another nice windy day today. Gusts of over 30 again. The wind this year just feels like it's really, really relentless. Like obviously in summer you're going to get windy days, but it just feels like it's constant over 30-mile-an-hour gusts, which is quite tough going with the plants, to be honest. So I'm desperately trying to go around today and get the wind support on, which should have already been up, but due to the heat wave, I just got behind with everything, so a bit of a nightmare. So when I first started doing the flower farm, I invested really heavy in these big fence posts, 2 3 inch rounds, I think is what they call them. They're big round posts. Now they sell these at my local agricultural shop. These are quite cheap. They're under £3 each. I think they're about 2.50, 2.60 each. They weren't much dearer than the tree posts, which are these little square 50 meal ones. But obviously, these nice big round ones are going to be much, much sturdier than the square ones. So my plan was, I'm going to buy enough of the big round ones and we're going to bang them all in strategically, and then they can just stay in year round in the borders. Doesn't matter if I don't need to use them. If they're in the borders, that's fine. So that was our plan. My partner came up and we had a couple of days banging in loads. At the time I couldn't afford enough to buy to do the whole field. In hindsight, thank goodness, because what's happened is in the wet winter over the last couple of years, they can't stay in because the ground gets so wet, the posts become wobbly. So I'm having to take them out, which means I'm having to re-put them in every year. So trying to bang in those big posts, fencing posts, by myself every single year, it's just not really doable. I'm now buying up more and more of the 50 mil ones so that having to put them in every year I can use them. They're not as sturdy, and it's still a pain having to bang them in, but yeah. So I have treated myself to a lump hammer. So I was thinking, right, we have the smaller posts, we have a lump hammer instead of the sledgehammer, which weighs 9.5 kilos, by the way, because I did weigh it. And this is only £3. So I'm thinking, great, I'll be able to get the posts in by myself. However, started to use the lump hammer, and I will show you. And every time I use it, it's literally just splitting the wood. So this isn't really ideal. And I think the reason for it is the size of the head is not quite big enough. So when I'm banging the posts, because this isn't as heavy, I'm having to actually use a bit more force. If I catch it just slightly wrong, it's just splitting the wood. So I'm back to using the 9.5 kilo sledgehammer. I'm going to be honest, I think the hardest job on the flower farm is trying to single-handedly bang in all the posts for wind support. It is a really tiring, exhausting job. So I was really hoping that I'd found a solution. So I am going to try and use the lump hammer to tap them in. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I could just come out and just give that a couple of extra taps with the sledgehammer. That's not too bad. I got all my netting from a company called Knowles Netting. Found them online. Bristol company, family run. They were super friendly. I couldn't do what I wanted on their website, so I phoned them up and explained like I had different length borders and stuff. And yeah, I could order up exactly the nets I wanted for the 10 longer borders, these length borders. It all came, all marked, everything was great. And then I just took all the netting off, didn't mark it. This is, all I can hear is my boyfriend in my head. Who the fuck does that? So I've been and brought another bucket of the Slug Gone wool pellets. The last bucket I brought from the local garden centre, and that one was $23.99. This one I've just been and brought from my local agricultural shop, and this one's $18.99. So I really do recommend trying to find your local agricultural shop. You will get much better bargains, not just for gardening stuff and farming stuff, but they normally do like pet stuff and everything. So honestly, search out for your local agricultural shop because they're fantastic. It's hard to get it on camera, but the military are literally just doing circles around our house today. Honestly, they are so low and they just circle the house. This will probably go on for about half an hour. So I've got some late zinnias, cosmos, marigolds, a few spare status and some asters that are going to be planted out in these 3 borders. Now the plan is to have a whole border of asters. This is going to be half zinnia, half cosmo. They like the same amount of water, so that should be okay. and then marigolds and statice in the border over there. So today I'm trying to get the marigolds and the statice done, and the zinnias and the cosmos done. Hello, butterfly. So I've come out and given it a good soak. Just going to give it a good weed, adding a little bit of our own compost, and then get them planted. So the plan is for these to just be some fresh stock from about end of August, September time, because I just find that although I've tried to plant concessions don't tend to work too well where I'm to. Everything just tends to just come at the same time. So it's just to try and get that little bit of fresh stuff. And also, I just think it's really boring if the bouquets that I'm sending to the shops are exactly the same stuff for the next 3 months. It's a little bit dull, really. So for me, I like to make sure that there's always different stuff in the bouquet. So I've just finished watching Jeremy Clarkson season 5. I know, I like to pace it though, I don't like to just binge watch it. And he on there, they had the bird app, the Merlin bird app, which I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of. So I got really excited, I downloaded it straight away. And I've been coming out the last couple of days and trying to record what we've got here in the field. Obviously this is only 1 acre and his farm is like 1,000 acres. So they said for about 1 acre, I googled it and it said anywhere from sort of 5 to 25 species is about average. So I was thinking, okay, let's see what we've got. So I think we got up to about 19 different species. I found one morning was really good, and then the rest just haven't been anywhere near as good. But I'll show you what we got. So as you can see, you have to record it for quite a long time. So if I go into my saved ones, you can see here, this was on June the 30th, and we had wren, pigeon, skylark, that's in the field next to us, robin, great tit, blue tit, house sparrow, dunnock, magpie, chaffinch, blackbird, goldfinch, barn swallow, bullfinch, colton, even a tawny owl. So yeah, but we're not getting that this morning. Sorry guys. The Sweet Williams are pretty much done now, and I'm ready to kind of cut them down and just give them a good weed. What a lot of people don't realise with Sweet Williams is they actually flower for 2 years, and you'll get much bigger and a much larger quantity of flowers on your 2nd year than you will on your 1st year. So these guys won't be ripped up, I'll just cut them down. You can see that there's new growth already trying to come. There is still a few shoots coming up, so I will leave them, and then if they're of any use I can use them. But yeah, just give it a good tidy up now, and then that'll be left ready for next year. another job I need to get done is to clear out this iris border. Sadly, these were a bit of a disappointment as well this year. They all came up in that first heat wave, just literally within 5 days of each other, and they were all blue and white. So now I'm in a situation where I'm having to try and find another company that I could maybe buy set colours and try and mix them in. And I'm thinking I might take out some of these and maybe just chuck them in somewhere in my other field. If the mice get them, they do, and if they don't, they're spare and extra. That's kind of my thinking. But I really do want some of the nice dark purples and the yellows and the lilacs. There's so many lovely colours, so it was really disappointing for them to all be blue and white. So they didn't come up as clean as I was expecting. I thought I'd be able to just pull it all off and it would snap off really easy because it was so dried up, the stems, but actually it pulled up a lot of the bulbs with it, but that's fine because I wanted to bring some up anyway. So that's probably the right amount, to be honest, so that's kind of done the job for me. So that border is all tidied now. Now you can really see the molehills that I was showing you in another video. So you can really kind of see like how mounded they were. So there was a lot of mole activity here. Yeah, so this border is going to need a little bit more sorting out before I can plant any fresh bulbs in.